Good morning. It's Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself. So here we are. We are heading straight to 2022. And I know a lot of you with chronic illness may not even be thinking about what's going on in the world because you have what's going on in your world, right? What's going on inside your world for so long. And you are living with your own ecosystem, your own pain, your own isolation, your own shame, guilt. You've been cut off from society. I mean, set what's going on with the world aside. You've been in lockdown for months, years, maybe even decades. You've been in lockdown with your own illness, your own grief, your own sadness, your own anger. You know what it feels like. I mean, the world right now is starting to feel what you've been feeling. People are starting to feel like, oh, I can't take any more lockdowns. I can't take this. When's it all going to end? When is the pandemic going to end? Right? So a lot of collectively in the world, people are feeling this way. They're feeling isolated. They're feeling lonely. They're feeling lost. They're feeling shut down. They're feeling fear and scared and worried for the future. And they don't feel like they have a purpose. And it's on a huge world scale what's happening. But you know, on a personal scale, that it's even deeper, right? For you, it's even deeper because you've been feeling this way and even worse for so long. People who have chronic illness feel completely isolated, locked down, alone, shunned from society, totally cut off. And you've been feeling like you've been living in this isolation lockdown for as long as you've had this chronic illness. And so, how's it going to end with the world is the same way it's going to end with you. So when we look at the micro and the macro, they're very similar. How we heal chronic illness is how we heal this, world pandemic as well. So it's all relative, right? What happens on the micro happens on the macro. And right now, we're learning lessons from the universe from all sides. We're seeing it in the macro and we're feeling it in the micro, especially if you've been living with chronic illness and just trying to get your life back. All you want is your life back, right? On the micro. But on the macro, you're like, what kind of life am I even going to come back to? So let's really break this down. How do we end our suffering, our own micro chronic illness? And how do we heal the macro, the pandemic, everything going on in the world and get back to normal, get back to semblance, some sort of a normalcy that feels good, where you're not living with pain, suffering, isolation, loneliness. That's what the world wants and that's what you want. Okay, so now that we can see that it's very similar, it's just being magnified for you. What do? We do the same thing, right? It's all about you. How you heal the world and the pandemic is when you stop being part of the problem and you start being part of the solution, right? When you step out of the matrix and you say, I'm going to start doing what's right. I can be free right now. It doesn't matter what's going on, even in the whole world. It doesn't have to ruin or touch my inner peace, my inner comfort, my inner safety, my inner love, happiness, right? So none of what's happening in the world right now, no matter how bad it gets, all the fear and the viruses and the lockdowns and all the craziness, right? The isolation, the shame, the blame, the division, all of it doesn't never, ever have to affect what's going on inside. And that's why when we tune into our own heart, our own soul, we live our purpose, we shine our purpose through, we know our worth, we love ourselves, we shine kindness, self-compassion, self-love into our soul, then none of this has to disturb our peace because we are free. We're free when we say we're free. We're at peace when we say we're at peace. We're happy when we say we're happy. So, like with anything, you can't let the past or the memories of the future or the worries or anything else what's going on the out affect what's in. We have control of this. We take control of this. And it's always by loving ourselves, knowing our own worth, feeling our own connection to those around us, and not reacting, right? Not reacting to the circumstances, not responding and reacting, but really being in control. Because we let that go. We learn to let go of what doesn't serve us, and we hold on to what does serve us. When we're holding on to what serves us, we are free. We are at peace. The pandemic can end when we just start loving one another again, caring, getting involved in our own purpose, our own life, right? Reflecting in, meditating, not responding and reacting. When we start having our inner peace shine outward, that's how we change the world. That's how we inspire the person next to us to start living their life, their purpose, their goals, their dreams, to stop being affected by what's going on. And one by one, everything will crumble. And the world, when we're ready, we can end it just like that. So how do we end chronic illness? It's the same thing. When we're hyper-focused on our illness, on our symptoms, on our worries for the future and our fears, and our traumas of the past, when we're focused on that, we can't heal because we're not living the life that we were designed to live. So again, when we stop responding and reacting to our own symptoms, our own fears, our own thoughts, our own worries, when we stop and we start to let things go, to be as they are, to become present in the moment, to look around and just feel connected to ourselves, send love and compassion to ourselves. All right, when we start to do this, we truly start to heal, because it's when we let go, it's when we decide that enough is enough. We're going to immerse ourselves in our life. We're going to stop waiting. See, all of us in the world right now with this pandemic, we've been waiting. Please tell us when it's over. When it's over, I can get back to my life. I can get back to doing what I want. I can get back to who I am and what I am. It's the same with our own chronic illness. It's like we're waiting. Tell me when it's going to be over. When is it going to be over? I'm going to put everything off until this is over. And then I'm going to be happy. Then I'm going to live my life. Then I can find love again. Then I can live my purpose, right? We have to stop waiting. The answer is now. The answer is right here, right now. You can find peace. You can find the present. You can find self-love, self-compassion. You can honor yourself. You can hear your own story. You can soothe yourself. The magic is all right inside you, and it's been there all along with the pandemic and with chronic illness. It's like when Dorothy clicked her heels in The Wizard of Oz. She could go home at any time. Stop hyper-focusing on what you don't want. Stop focusing and living into the symptoms and the pain and the suffering. Stop living into the problem of the pandemic and the world. Start living into the solution. Start living into the love. Start living into your soul, into your purpose. And stop waiting. Start living now. You've had your power all along. And when we remember that, when you take back your own power, when you say, this is the year, I can take back my own power with the pandemic. I can take back my own power with my own health, with my own issues, with my own chronic illness. When we stop giving our power away, to the government, to the pharmaceutical companies, to your doctor, to your spouse, the relationships in your life, whatever it is, take your own power back. When you remember that you have the power, then everything falls away. When you remember you are free. You take your power back. When you take the power back that's inside you, then you can start to really heal yourself, and you can start to heal the world, because when you no longer give it away, what's out there can't affect you. Even the symptoms on your body can't affect you. Stop giving your power to the things that are trying to steal it and consume your thoughts and your energy. Be very, very diligent with your own energy. What are you going to give it to? How can you grow the energy that you want in your body? Healing is about directing our energy. We're going to get into some energy work this year. It's going to be really important where your energy goes. It is key, is absolute key. You have the power inside you. Stop giving it away. When you stop giving it away, it ends. Your chronic illness ends. The pandemic ends. It all ends. And yes, sometimes it takes time for that to play out. You don't just take back your power and your chronic illness goes away like this. You don't just take back your power and the pandemic ends like this. But when we continue to live in our power, that's when we really begin to build our strength. We begin to build our peace, our character, all the qualities that we need to get through this. And this is when, real transformation, real change happens. And when we start to inspire, right? When we're holding enough of the vibration for the people around us, they change. The world changes. When everyone's ready, the pandemic will end. And when you're holding enough positive energy for your body, for the cells in your body that are dealing with chronic illness, that vibration inspires the rest of it. So it's a shift in energy. Hold your power. This is how it all goes back to the way you want it to be. It's your job this year to wake up, to take back your power, to stand in your own power, to stop being confined by the box that society, the world, or yourself, that you've put yourself in, to break free. That is what 2022 is about. Breaking out of the matrix, breaking out of this construct that's going on in the world, and breaking out of what you're holding inside that's keeping you from healing, from growing, from becoming what you want to become. So this is the year to break down, to break out, and to grow through. So as we head into 2022, if you haven't yet subscribed, please take a moment to do so, hit the bell, and I will see you in the next video.